G'day, Starlo here. In the first part of my Exmouth on foot doubleheader, I recounted how my daughter Amy and I had driven her old Toyota HiLux all the way from the far south coast of New South Wales to Exmouth in the northwest of Western Australia. It was an epic journey, and if you want to see our stats on fuel consumption and so on, check out the details on that first part. On arriving in Exmouth, I wasted no time getting into the land-based fishing.
Oh, yep. There's fish on it. Oh, come on. Yeah! That's a good fish. Don't know if I'm going to stop him on the brim gear.
I had an absolute ball walking and wading the accessible shorelines with my brim weight gear to catch various trevally and little queenies. I certainly didn't get them all, but I had a blast.
Oh, yes. Oh, they will not give up. No, one more jump. Little queenie on a popper. What a pretty fish. Oh, right there. Listen to it taking long.
If you want to revisit all that action, be sure to go back and watch part 1. I'll post the link up here and also in the details down below.
Yeah. Oh, might have bitten off more than I can chew this time. Careful. Look at that. What a gorgeous fish.
But I still had a few days left in Exmouth, and I was super keen to do some more land-based light tackle fishing. Join me now to see how the rest of the trip panned out.
What a terrible place to have to spend an afternoon. How fantastic is this? I'm back on the shore here at Exmouth. I'm on the western side fishing in the lagoon. You can see the fringing reef out there and this beautiful turquoise lagoon. And I'm just walking some shoreline down in the Cape Range National Park, making sure that I'm fishing in areas where I'm allowed to. Got a couple of spin rods with me, fairly light spin rods, and I've got my 9-weight fly rod. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually just going to put the spin rods up on the rock, I reckon, and go for a wade out here with the fly rod and use my Mako polarized sunglasses to see if I can actually see any fish and sight cast to them. I'll tell you though, even if I don't find a fish, it's just a delight to be here. The air temperature's about 28 or 29 degrees. The water's about 26 degrees. There's a very, very light nor'easter blowing. It's just paradise. What a great spot. But let's see if we can find some fish.
This part of the world offers an amazing variety of potential fly rod and lure casting targets, including various trevally, queenfish, giant herring, spangled emperor, and even exotics like bonefish and permit. But they're not always easy to find. There can be a fair bit of water between them. Best bet is to try and visually locate the fish first, actually spot them and then cast to them. However, in between, it doesn't hurt to prospect a little with a few blind casts, which is exactly what I'm doing now. But so far, no luck, and I'm not seeing anything with that afternoon sun angle. I reckon I might be better off to climb the nearby dunes for an improved vantage point. That's better.
Now, there are fish down here, but I think they're mullet. They're right up in the shallows, looking pretty skittish. I wonder if I'd be able to see them from down at water level. Probably not. This is a really good vantage point up here. But oh my gosh, things like bonefish and permit and even golden trevally are so hard to see. Now, I definitely saw something a little bit bigger out there. Oh yeah. Yeah, I only saw it briefly, but there was a better fish out there. I think I'm going to slide down to the beach and set myself up here. Got a good feeling about this spot and that little sandy hole a bit further along. Yeah, I like this. Oh, this should be fun getting down. Here we go.
It's a lot steeper than it looks on screen.
Oh, that's great. Woo, it's like taking the sand escalator. Yeah, as I thought, really hard to see anything from down at this level. But there were definitely some shapes out there wider, so I'm going to wade out here and have a go.
There's life here in the shallows too, but it's mostly shovel-nosed sharks and mullet.
Alright, so I was out in this area in front is where I saw some interesting shapes from up on top of the dunes. I can see nothing down here except bright reflective water. You'd have to be nearly on top of a fish down at this level, I think, to see it. So I might just try a few blind casts out there into the yonder. The other thing I'm looking for is maybe a silver flash as a fish turns on its side. It's very pleasant being in the water here. Getting out pretty deep now. I'm going to try to get a fly out to the edge of this reefy patch just here. Oh, it's not easy casting when you're this deep in the water. Right, let's try. Nearly. Get the fly down. It's a little prawn pattern, so I'm just going to make it hop along like a prawn, not go too fast. I'm on tippy toes. It's getting deep. Try one more out there. Oh, that basically got to the edge of the reef. Oh, I just got a bump. Oh, and another one. Small stuff, I'd say it's little cod. Let's try that again. Get out there onto that rubbly reefy stuff.
Yes.
Oh, I've got something. I'd say it's a little cod. Oh. Yeah. Just casting blind over the little bit of rubbly reef there, and I've picked up little Chinaman cod, or Charlie caught as they call them over here. Charlie, you've been caught. It's only a little one. There's so many of these in the lagoon. They're great little fish. He didn't mind that prawn fly. How clear is that water? He's working his way back out to the reef, wondering what that was all about. Encounter with an alien. I've got good vision down this way. The sun behind me, that's the way I'll be going back to where I parked the car. I might get a better look going that way. It's pretty tricky though.
And sadly, I didn't see any more action that afternoon. So next morning, I hit the beach at first light with my spin gear.
Oh, there's a shark. Look at that. Let's see if he'll respond to the popper. Oh yeah, he's on the popper, the shark. I'm looking at it. He turned on it, but it didn't smell right.
With not much else happening, I decided to switch to plan B.
Now I'm going to try something a little bit different here. It's a bit quiet this morning, so I've actually got some squid, fairly disreputable looking bit of squid that a mate gave me that had come out of his freezer. It smells okay, I wouldn't eat it. And I've just put it unweighted on a small hook on my light brim gear. Let's see what lives in here. This should be a bit interesting. Oh, big swirl here. What have we got? Oh, here's a bite, here's a bite, here's a bite. Got him! Oh, 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 oh. A bit of squid got eaten. Oh. Oh, it's a pretty good fish. Probably shouldn't have put it on the light here. No. It's up on the surface out there, whatever it is. Oh, gone. Bit me off, I reckon. Might have been a shark. Gee whiz, it went hard. I might try a bit of squid on the heavy gear. Ooh, that took a lot of line. Hook's gone. It's pretty well chopped. Could have been a shark. I don't know, it's hard to know.
With little else besides bitey critters in evidence, I tossed my last bait scraps into the shallows and started to pack up. And the immediate arrival of the clean-up squad seemed to answer the question of what I'd hooked. Time for a move, I reckon. Cheeky bugger. The wind had picked up now and the tide was high, so I headed right up to the northern tip of the Cape to join John O'Shales of Exmouth fly fishing and have a look for a bluebone or tuskfish. Our plan was to cast a crab fly at one of these spectacular critters. But we just didn't cross paths with any in the choppy water. Instead, I accounted for a few more of Ningaloo's ubiquitous cod, including some that were barely larger than my flies. Not really what I was looking for. With no tuskies in evidence, the attraction of being smacked by one salty wave after another soon wore off. Time for a complete change of pace, I reckon.
All right, well, here's something a little bit different for land-based fishing in Exmouth. I'm actually down at the busy marina in town. It's not exactly a pristine bit of country. There's a big boat yards over there and some very noisy grinding and cutting going on. Fair bit of boat traffic coming in and out. There's actually a cruise ship in here at the moment and they're unloading passengers. But I just threw a couple of bits of pilchard, or muley as they call them over here in the west, into the water here, and there are some thumping big yellowfin bream. You know me and bream, doesn't matter where I go in Australia, I've got to catch me a bream. Let's see if we can. I've got about a 35 or 40 pound leader on here, so I don't know if they're going to eat it. I'm not going to change it yet. I'm going to try it and just see. Here they come. I'll tell you what, there's some thumpers amongst them too, but like bream anywhere, they're a bit cautious. There's some other fish in there too. Some scat. I think I may have even seen some small bluebone down deeper. Let's see how they react to a bait with a hook in it attached to my heavy leader. The little stuff's having a go. Oh, there's a bigger bream, and I reckon he got it. He did get it. He ate it. Marina brim can be tricky animals, but I don't know how much pressure they get here. There's some big ones, but there's also some small ones. I bet I end up with one of the small ones. Oh wow, oh, it's a big diamond scale mullet. Gee, they're pretty good at getting the bait off. I think probably because it's frozen, but the little stuff is just piling onto it at the moment. All the little stuff is just tearing it off the hook before it can get down to the brim. I hope you get to see some of these brim, because some of them are thumpers. There's a fair few smaller ones too. Got him. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's only one of the little ones that they pull. I've got just about a lock drag here. Oh, it's one of the very smallest ones. But there you go. Western yellowfin brim. Something a bit different. They're a great looking fish. A little bit different. Almost like a cross between a southern black and an eastern yellowfin. Not quite as deep in the body. Alright, I'm going to release you a bit further away from your mates so they don't wise up too much. Hopefully that's far enough. Let's see if we can get a bigger one. The big ones are pretty cunning. They're awake up to that leader. I'm going to have to go lighter.
But not just yet. I'll try one more bait on the heavy leader first. You never know.
Oh, there we go. That's a better one, is it? Yeah. Oh. Suddenly the leader paid off because he got me over the edge of a rock. Oh. See, this is the trade-off. You go lighter in the leader to get the bites. I actually foul hooked this one. How lucky was that? That's not a bad brim. I tell you what, there's ones in there twice that size. They're such good looking fish.
And fat. Full of my burley, I reckon.
That's very cool. Just foul hooked him through the base of the pectoral fin. I think I'll stick with this leader because he would have cut me off on anything lighter.
The Russian judge gave that one a 7.
I reckon they'll wise up pretty quick though, especially with me letting them go here.
Don't worry about the high dive. Brim are tough.
See, the brim are already making themselves a bit scarce, just from those ones I let go, I reckon. Let's see what happens. The small stuff moves in. Look at that, the big brim are really being shy now. And I think it's because I let those couple go. What have we got? Oh, a scat. Now you need to be really careful with these. They've got some nasty spines and give you a pretty bad sting. Very common up in tropical areas. Caught a lot the small ones in cast nets when people are catching bait. If you're not careful, you can get spiked. I might be able to show you that in a minute, the way I'm going. Right, got him pinned. Pretty fish, be great in an aquarium. Those big brim have really made themselves scarce. That is so interesting. Oh, there's a big ray. Plenty of life in here. Apparently there's some nice mangrove jacks in here too and some big blue bone. You could have a lot of fun just fishing this marina. And it seems to be allowed. There's no sign saying you can't. Oh, just saw a blue bone. Oh, there's a trevally. I wonder what kind of trevally. Oh, there's a blue bone. Got him! Oh! Oh, briefly had a blue bone on. It wasn't a bad one either. Oh no! Blue bone, come on. What have I got? Little Moses perch. Pretty little fella. There's a few of those down there. Related to the mangrove jack and the finger mark. The spot here on the back's a lot like a finger mark, but they've got the longitudinal yellow stripes as well. They don't grow anywhere near as big as a finger mark or a jack, but they're a very tasty fish when they get a bit bigger.
There's some bigger stuff sniffing around down there too. I reckon that dark shape might be a decent estuary cod.
Got him! What do we got? A little queenie! Oh, there's so much variety here. Oh, you're going to be spiky, aren't you? Very spiky.
You really need to handle these things carefully to avoid their painful spikes. And the smaller they are, the spikier they are.
Ooh, decent brim just got a hold of that, and I got him. He's not too bad. Oh, he's not one of the big ones, but oh, I tell you, I'm watching him swimming next to other brim down there, and some of them are half as long again. It's just some really thumping big brim down there, but they're the smart ones. They're quite a distinct fish, these western yellowfin brim. Look at that yellow on the tail there. I like them.
Sure, I don't think too many other people besides me would travel all the way to Exmouth to catch brim, but they're just another of the many, many targets on offer for land-based fishers in this part of the world.
So yesterday I found some nice fish in the marina, some western yellowfin brim, and I saw mangrove jacks and bluebone and all sorts of other things. So this evening, as the sun's sinking towards the horizon, I've come out here towards the entrance of the harbour that leads into the marina. You can probably see one of the Gulf prawn trawlers heading out there behind me. There's some quite deep water down here and really rocky looking. Let's see what lives in it. I'm going to start by throwing a little hard body, but I suspect I may end up going to a soft plastic. It's exciting to fish new country like this. I don't think it gets much pressure either. Everyone here seems to have a boat and they all go offshore, but there's some great land-based.
So don't feel disadvantaged at all if you find yourself in Exmouth without a boat. There are plenty of opportunities for the footloose fisher. Until next time, tight lines, and if you liked this, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers.